So all things Ohio history really live here. This building, it was opened in 1970, and it is an example of brutalist architecture.
And brutalism is an architectural stylistic term associated with buildings designed in the mid-20th century. And they are typically characterized by the use of concrete in construction and bold geometric shapes.
This style was used for public buildings, like institutional buildings, museums. There's a functionality and like a separation of spaces that you can do in this style. So think about our museum, like the State Historical Museum is here, the State Archives, the State Historic Preservation Office. Our collections are here. We have over a million artifacts that are located at this campus. And so brutalism was a really good style for the kind of function that we needed.
When the building was first designed in the late 60s, it was really seen as a building that would bring together the two separate primary purposes of the Ohio History Connection, and that was the museum and the archives library. The director of the Ohio Historic Connection at the time called it like a sandwich, with the two parts of the building and the sandwich fixings, the plaza level in between. So the plaza level was originally designed to be the main entrance. You would come up these monumental stairs to this entrance, and the idea was that you would either descend down into the museum floor to explore history or rise up to the archives library to learn about history.
So not a lot of people love this building, and that's okay. They don't have to love this building. My goal is to get people to appreciate this building for what it is.
Well, the concrete block of the building, the archives library, is the most dramatic space. It appears to really float over the plaza level here. It is a massive concrete block that is cantilevered out on all four sides 40 feet. So cantilevered means that it is suspended. The part that hangs out over open air is really suspended by only one form of support, sort of like my arm sticking out here. So how is this building standing up? Well, it's a matter of combining the forces of compression and tension with the concrete. So you'll see the four concrete cores. These have 15-inch walls in them, and these cores go down to 70 feet down to bedrock and rise up through the 3 stories of the building. Connected to them are these beams or walls that we see extending out to form the cantilever, and they come through the building and again rise up 3 stories through the archives library block, and they are anchored on either side of these concrete cores. So these are the structural devices that are holding up the archives library block. And when the walls were being formed, the concrete was being poured in place, cabling, 1/4-inch steel cabling, was laid and placed into the walls in a large undulating pattern. 193 miles worth of the 1/4-inch steel cabling was used in the walls to create that post-tension mechanism. And in fact, on the far wall you see those exposed hydraulic jacks. As the concrete was hardening, the cabling was tightened by the use of those jacks. And in fact, those two have been left unexposed to do what we're doing right now, and that's explaining the structure of this building. The ceiling we see here is called a waffle slab ceiling, and it actually is the floor of the archives reading room, as we'll see, is suspended basically over 2 stories of open space. This monumental, impressive space is the Archives Library Reading Room. Part of the structure of this building is the fact that in order to be attentive to where the stresses are in the building over time, and the stresses particularly in these main primary structural walls, you'll notice that the openings on this level, the doors, have curved entrances to them, and that's purposeful in order to help deflect the stresses in the walls and to prevent cracking. This space is the museum level, and it spreads out for 3.5 acres of exhibit space. All the concrete in this building was cast in place, poured in place concrete. 21,000 cubic yards of concrete was brought to this spot. The concrete surfaces were what we call board formed. 1 by 4 inch boards, rough finished boards, were placed into the forms. So when the concrete hardened and the forms were taken away, the impression, the dimension, the grain, the knots and all were left embedded into the concrete. And this was done to create texture to the concrete surfaces and also to give it something of a human scale. When this building was designed, it was really one of a kind, and the expectation was that it would really put Ohio on the map when it comes to modern architecture.
People love this building and people hate this building, and it's been that way since 1970, right? And architecture it's a personal thing, you know, it's a taste thing. And so, you know, people are gonna like it, people are not gonna like it, but this is a great example of brutalism right here in central Ohio.
And actually, when the building was first opened in 1970, the architectural press was likened to the most important public building in the state of Ohio since the State House. And it is an inspiring, monumental piece of architecture.
It's been 50 years. This building has done really well for us. It's built so well, it's not going anywhere. We don't want it to go anywhere. We're glad to be here. This is a great location. It's great, and it's going to serve us for a long time.